You ever have one of those conversations where you can just feel it's not really a conversation, but an ending? Well, today we're going to break down a story about a single moment like that. It's all about a question that was really an unsaid goodbye.
And it all starts right here, with this one sentence, this moment of total confusion that, looking back, made everything make sense. So, let's unpack this thing together. Okay, so to really feel the impact of that one question, we've got to go back to the beginning. It didn't start with a big talk. It started with a quiet, shared routine, one that bit by bit started to mean something more. So for these two, the tram ride stopped being just a commute. It turned into their thing, you know? The quiet between them at the start just broke. And what grew in its place was a real connection. It became their daily ritual, normal.
And listen to what they talked about. It wasn't anything deep or philosophical. It was just life. Work stuff, random ideas, the smallest little things you can think of. That's the kind of stuff you only talk about when you're really, truly comfortable with someone.
And right here, this is where things start to change. Those little, everyday chats, they started to feel heavy in a good way. That simple trip to work was turning into something that meant the world to him. And there it is. The quiet part he never said out loud. It's not some big dramatic moment. It's just a feeling that was growing in the background of all those little talks they had on the tram. And that's exactly what this quiet liking is. It's not about huge gestures or loud declarations of love. It's when someone just becomes a part of your day, a habit, one you don't even realize you have until you feel it might be gone. Sound familiar? But routines, no matter how comfortable they feel, can be broken. And one morning, with absolutely no warning, everything felt off. The first sign was the silence. But this wasn't that easy, comfortable silence from the beginning. No, this was a heavy silence. You could feel it. The fact that she wasn't smiling, wasn't her usual self, that was the first red flag. I mean, just look at the signs. Every single one is a clue. The smile is gone. The energy isn't there. She's just staring out the window, completely lost in thought. She was there, but at the same time, she was a million miles away. And right there, in the middle of all that quiet heaviness, the story just kind of holds its breath. This is it. The moment everything pivots. The moment something unspoken is about to be said, just not in a way he could have ever guessed. And boom, there's the question. It just lands with so much weight. It feels like it comes out of absolutely nowhere, but it also feels like it's about everything they've ever shared. So what is she really asking? You can just feel him scrambling, right? He's trying to figure out what she means, what the real question is. This is way too big, way too deep for their usual small things talk on the tram. So he takes a moment, looks at her, and he answers her honestly. He gives a hopeful answer, thinking he's talking about them, about the reason they met. But her reaction, it tells a totally different story. That smile isn't happy. It's not relief. It's sad. The kind of sad that confirms a truth you don't want to hear. And that's when you realize his answer didn't matter. The question was the entire point. Okay, so this is where it all finally clicks for him, way after the fact. This last part is all about him finally figuring out what was really being said in that moment. And that is such a chilling feeling. That feeling when you realize you were just a character in a story where the other person already knew the ending. She wasn't asking a question, she was delivering a final line. And then it hits him. Nothing about that morning was an accident. Not the quiet, not her stare, and definitely not that question. It was all a setup. It was the beginning of an end he couldn't even see coming. He finally understood. That question, it wasn't about fate or destiny or reasons. Not really. She was just trying to find a gentle way to say something that was just too hard to say outright. And that's the truth of it. The whole thing, it was her way of leaving, her silent language of departure, a way to close their chapter before he even knew it was ending.
That kind of realization just changes everything, doesn't it? It leaves him, and it leaves us, just kind of standing there, wondering what happens next.
Their story on that tram might be over, but the whole story isn't. If you want to find out what happens next, make sure you follow along.